In this video, I'm going to show you how to install an upper radiator hose on your Nissan Altima. Remove the cap for the radiator. This will make our coolant drain faster when we open the drain on the bottom. We're going to remove the engine splash shield. Using a pair of clip pliers, we're going to go around, take out all the clips. Using a flathead screwdriver, we're going to remove this cap and start to drain the coolant. Before you pull this cap out completely, make sure you have a drain bucket under to catch the coolant. All right. Take off the air box. Remove the 10mm bolt. And I'm also going to remove this 10mm bolt just to have myself some more wiggle room. Pinch the clamp, pull it down. And I am going to remove this, kind of tuck it up out of the way. We're going to remove the clamp off of the radiator. Using a pair of 45-degree long nose pliers. Slide that back. And we're going to pull the hose off of the radiator. We're going to swap our clamps from the old hose to the new one. Put the hose onto the radiator. All right, with the hose completely slipped onto the radiator, grab the clamp, pinch it, and then put it back into place. Once you have it on, double check that it's sitting past the bulge out on the radiator so it actually clamps and locks in. Install the upper plastic piece into the hose. I have to slide this hose clamp down just a little bit. Slide that on. Might even have to go a little more. And before I start moving this clamp up, I'm going to put this 10mm bolt back in so that it holds it for me. Squeeze the clamp. I had to switch out the spring clamp on this. The spring clamp broke, so now we're using a little worm clamp. If you can swap it for a spring clamp, that's best case scenario, but this will work in a pinch. The reason you don't want to necessarily use these worm clamps is because as these hoses get tired, they shrink, and the spring clamps will keep putting tension on them as they shrink. These will not, they'll just stay fixed. So it's a good idea if you use these to frequently check them and make sure they're still tight. Install the 10mm bolt back in this bracket. Install the air box. Two bolts. Reinstall the plug in the bottom of the radiator. Snug it down. Reinstall the splash shield. Put all your clips back in. There is supposed to be a clip right here and right here, but our car is missing them. Fill your radiator with coolant. It's a good sign if it's glugging. That means it's an airtight system and that it's not leaking out of somewhere. If it just goes straight down the drain, I would stop pouring because you're going to have a puddle somewhere. Once you have enough coolant sitting in the reservoir and it stops bubbling up, go ahead and start your car. Let it warm up to operating temp. Wait for all of the bubbles to stop coming out. If you need to add more coolant, go ahead and do that. Once it's done bleeding, you can grab a hose and push it to push a little bit of coolant back into here, which will allow it to not necessarily leak when you take it out. Take your excess coolant and put it into your overflow to the max level. If you need to add more, do that now. Put the cap back on. Remove the adapter from the radiator and install the cap.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.